don't know how you can do that.
What?
Eat hot lozenges and drink tea at the same time.
Well, it gives a bit of a kick. It's very good.
Oh, it make me sick, I'm sure.
Look, try one.
No, thank you.
Well, if you don't try, you'll never know, will you?
Oh, she said to feel free to use her place because the council provide the eating, and so we might as well take advantage of it and save our coal.
Yes.
It was nice of her, wasn't it?
She never wants to keep her place heard. It costs a note.
Can I come in?
Oh, hello.
Hello. Norma asked me would I drop these in for you.
Oh, tar very much. They hadn't come when I popped in before.
Oh, well, pay when you're in.
Here, you got friendly with Colin and his wife, didn't you?
Colin?
Enos Colin.
Oh, yeah, with that baby Jason, yes.
Yes, well, they're doing very nicely, so Enos says. I had a letter from her.
Oh, good.
Yes, and they're very happy. It's here. Yes, they send their thanks and best wishes to all who thought on to send Christmas cards and presents to Jason.
Well, we sent one from the Rovers.
Oh, yes, they mentioned that. And the girl that sent them mittens.
What girl?
Well, there was a young woman round before Christmas asking. She had a photo of the little fellow out of the paper.
You what?
Well, you know, people do get interested in it. And she gave me the mittens to send on to Ena for Jason.
Hey, hang on a minute. Was that the girl that Betty met?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, who was she? Where'd she come from?
Well, I can't really remember, but it was nice of her, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, she's probably got a kid of her own. And them mittens would just be cast-offs. You know what folks are like.
Oh, no, she knitted them specially. They were a proper gift.
Oh.
Well, Emily Nugent as was made a point of going round to say thank you.
Did she now?
I'm sorry to get you.
That's all right, that's all right. How would you like a sprig of, what do you call it, heather?
Oh, is it lucky?
Yeah, so they tell me. It's paperweight, I think.
Oh, Tar.
It's nothing.
Oh, you should never say that when you give somebody a present. Oh, it's smashing.
It was either that or a rabbit's foot brooch.
Oh, no, I think they're gruesome, them things.
Yeah, so do I. Imagine those posh ladies when I was a kid who used to walk around with dead foxes around their necks.
Oh, yeah, horrible, with little glassy eyes.
It was barbaric. Well, you know, it used to scare the daylights out of me. Be sitting in a bus and opposite be this lady with this dead fox's head staring at you. Thanks.
Oh, that can't have happened every day.
No, it probably only happened once, but you know how things strike you when you're a kid and they stick, don't they?
Yeah. How are the kids?
Oh, they're fine.
Getting on all right? Did they still remember who you were?
Yeah. No, they're okay. A bit spoiled, I think, but all right. How about you?
Oh, I can't grumble. Well, I could, but I won't. Maggie's gone to Gordon's.
Oh, you're on your own then? How's your dad?
He's not exactly laughing.
No, well, spending a new year at Risley can't exactly be a bore, can it?
Case comes up Wednesday.
Does it?
Yeah, I've just heard.
Has he got a good solicitor?
Don't really matter much. He says he's going to plead guilty.
What?
Yeah.
Well, where's the sense in that?
My dad thinks there's sense in it.
That's ridiculous. He didn't do it. You know that, and I know that.
Yeah, so's my dad, but he's still going to plead guilty.
Why, in the name of God?
Well, he reckons that they'll send him down whatever he says. If he saves them trouble, well, they might,
What?
hand him down 3 instead of 5. It's always worth a bit off, pleading guilty. It's a proper bargain, isn't it?
And he'd be guilty for that?
He's done it before, so he says.
Can't just walk into a 3-year jail sentence for something he didn't do.
What would you do, Ken? 5?
Well, what has this got to do with justice?
Oh, my dad don't expect any of that, does he? What gets me is some swines waltzing round spending that money. Well, my dad's going down for it. Well, he's in there for it.
Yeah, and I've got a good idea who.
Yeah, but your idea won't save my dad 2 years, will it, Ken? Pleading guilty will.
Yes, I did go to see the girl.
Well, I don't get it. Why?
Oh, just to thank her.
Why do you bother? I mean, you particularly.
Someone had to make a point.
Did you know she had a photo of Jason cut out of the paper?
Yes, she did, that's right.
Oh, come on. Why did you go? Because you reckon what I reckon.
We just wondered, that's all. To tell you the truth...
To tell you the truth, we thought it was very fishy.
So do I.
And we were right.
Come on, then, we might as well tell her.
I'm right, Emma.
Her name's Christine Peters, and it was her, yes, she took Jason.
You know that for certain?
She lives with her sister. It was the sister who put him back on the croft.
And you're just keeping that to yourselves?
We don't know.
I mean, think...
I am thinking. I think you've gone off your heads.
No, you've got to take into consideration how much suffering might be caused.
But she's the one who's caused the suffering. I mean, she needs treatment.
Yes, that's very probably
Emily
true,
is frightened that she will be sent to prison.
and I think that's the last thing to do someone like that any good at all.
You can't just let her go round, wandering round doing it again.
No, I know.
Well, I think we ought to go to police.
I'm sure you should.
It worries me as much as you, but will prison help her? And if she's not too stable now, what will that do to her?
And what will it do to you if you pick up the paper tomorrow morning and see another kid's been nicked?
I know.
She needs a psychiatrist.
Well, they'll probably send her to one. The courts, I mean. They'll see that she gets proper treatment.
Oh, if only it didn't involve the police and
Well,
jails.
if
and...
she could be persuaded to...
Hey, how about that sister of hers? Perhaps she could persuade her to go.
Oh, she seemed reluctant to admit... People can be very frightened of mental illness.
Well, it's either that or I'll go to the police. I mean, you've only got the two choices. You can't just leave it at that.
I think we should try.
All right, and if that fails, then we go to the police.
Yes.
I just wouldn't like to see that girl getting dragged through all that terrible process.
Now, let's get this straight. Are you telling me that you did this job?
Well, I might just as well have done.
Now, Mr. Ford,
No,
listen...
no, look, forget it, mate. Look, I'll give them a cough. It'll be easier all round.
Is this because you don't have confidence in me?
No, I think you're lovely, but I mean, tell me, what chance have I got, eh?
Well, between you and me...
Yeah, sweet F.A., so why bother? Oh, you don't happen to have a fag on you, do you?
Yes, of course. Do you think you'll get a shorter term this way?
Well, no, don't I?
Oh, you might be right, of course. Take one later.
Oh, tell me.
So what do you want me to do? You don't want me to prepare a defence?
Yeah, look, I want a whitewash job, don't I?
But I see no possible plea in mitigation. Of course, I can say that you've been cooperative, that you've no record of violence, and that's about it.
Yeah. The sooner I can get out of this place into a proper nick, the happier I'll be. I just can't stand these here halfway doss houses.
Yes, well, bad news on that one, I'm afraid.
What?
The case might be postponed.
Oh, well, what for?
I don't know.
But I mean, I'm standing for it. They can fit me in any time.
No, not quite so simple as that, I'm afraid. I take it you haven't changed your statement yet?
No.
Oh. Well, there's no rush.
What, there is for me, mate? I want to get stuck into me porridge. Start counting the 1,000 days they're going to have off me.
Oh, love, I can't let you get into debt. It'll be on my conscience.
Well, I don't reckon a small rum's much of a debt.
Ah, but that's how it starts. I mean, I'd never forgive myself if you had to go and pop your wristwatch.
But I haven't got a wristwatch.
There you are, you see, you've no security. It's even worse.
Look, how long have I been coming in here? Long time before you, I can tell you that.
And I've never seen your name on that slate, and I don't want you to start.
Do I get a rum or do I not?
One, that's all.
With my credit, I reckon I'm entitled to a barrel.
I'll give him a large rum.
Are you paying?
Well, no, but
No,
short
I am not scrounging. If my credit's not good enough, I'm not going to stop here to be humiliated.
Oh, all right.
And you know what you can do with your rum?
What?
Keep it.
Oh, wow, that was silly. We can't take a joke on that fella.
Aye, Stan.
Aye.
Hey.
Hey? What are you on about?
Oh, a nice little flanker you work there, son.
What?
Got any more like that, any help?
What?
Long comforts, you know.
Do you mind?
No, take me out off to you, Stanley. 19 Inkerman Street. They work that well, son.
Well, you know.
Hey, this bloke that's doing the night shift, he's mate of yours, is he?
Oh, no doubt about that. Oh, stop doing that, will you?
Hey, it's a funny word, cohabiting.
Shut up, will you? Just went for a cup of tea, that was all.
Mr. Ogden.
Yeah.
Mr. Stanley Ogden, window cleaner, 13 Coronation Street.
Yeah.
There's half a dozen kids outside trying to take the wheel off your handcart.
Little. Thanks very much. Get off it, will you?
Can I have half a bit?
You know, I never realised you had a sense of humour. Scared the life out of Stanley then.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you had me fooled and all. Thought you were going to slap the handcuffs on him.
That must be my manner. I'm only trying to be helpful. I can assure you I have no sense of humour whatsoever.
Ah, that's what my soul reckons and all. Yes,
Just a box of matches, please, yeah. We'll make it 2, will you?
2. Right, there you are, it.
Thanks, love.
Cute.
I must get one of those battery doofers, you know, much more convenient. What brings you around this area, then?
Oh, villains. I was thirsty.
Are you getting anywhere with the baby business?
The baby? No. Why?
Oh, just wondered if you're still working on it.
No, not unless someone comes along and jogs me elbow.
Oh, that's pretty unlikely, isn't it?
Pretty.
Well, I must be getting on my way or Emily won't get any cup of tea. Always running out of matches. I don't know.
Hello, Ernest.
Hello.
Sit down, I'll get you a drink. Betty, could I have a pint and a half, please?
Yeah, of course you can.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. One thing I don't enjoy, it's resentment.
You do your job.
Not everybody likes it. Are you busy?
Not particularly. Hello. Okay.
I'd like to have a little word with you, then.
Oh?
As you say, I do my job. I'm not always happy when other people start doing it.
Well?
You still routing around?
No, let's say my enthusiasm for the Dick Barton bit has been stifled by a lack of official interest.
Good.
May I get on with my drinks now?
Please do. But when you finish, come and have a talk with me, will you?
Why? What more have you got to say?
You might be interested, but not in front of Miss Ford.
Oh.
Enjoy your drink.
Oh, heck, it's bitter.
Bobby won't go out in it, will you?
No, well, he's got his wits about him, that cat.
He has, haven't you?
No, but I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't have set foot outside that door if I hadn't been forced to.
Well, we don't have to, not until this evening.
No. Well, then, what do you fancy to pass away the time?
Well, I find it passes of its own accord.
Oh, well, you must have something to occupy your mind.
Oh, I have my thoughts.
Well, you've got to have something to think about.
What's that you're doing? Playing Patience?
Well, it's not better to do.
Well, it's very unsociable, is Patience.
Well, if you fancy a game, come on, there must be something you can play.
Well, I think I could remember how rummy goes.
Well, how about a game of brag?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Well, I'll teach you.
Well, not if there are too many rules.
Oh, no, it's very, very simple.
Oh, are we going to play with matches?
Well, you've got to have some interest, haven't you?
Oh, shall I divide these up?
Yes, you do. And I'll tell you what, we'll make each one a penny. Why not?
A proper penny or a new one?
Oh, a new one. I mean, win or lose, it's only our beer money, is it?
All right, well, then you deal, and we'll see if I get the hang of it.
Yeah.
Well, I better get back and open up the shop.
Okay, you don't mind if I don't walk back with you, do you?
Oh, don't want to be seen with me, eh?
Got to think about the neighbours, don't we? No, I want to have a word with Patterson.
No, I don't. I don't ever want to have to talk to that man again.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What do you want to see him about?
Oh, something and nothing. I think he wants to wrap my knuckles.
Oh, for poking your nose in?
Yeah.
Typical. You want to tell him he didn't poke his far enough?
Yeah, okay.
See you.
Fine.
Stay there. I'd soon take the weight off my feet. You're, not very happy about this Jacko Ford business, are you?
No.
Well, tell me why not.
Oh, I thought you had something to say to me.
Yes, but tell me.
All right. Well, as far as I'm concerned, you didn't see past the end of your nose.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I think. Jacko was likely, Jacko was handy, a known criminal, so clang went the big door on Jacko.
I've got a very good case against him. I could get a conviction in any court you'd care to mention.
Oh, I'm sure. But be honest, did you really burn any oil on the case?
No. There are some patterns you can recognize blindfold.
Blindfold? Your word, not mine.
Have you any idea how many cases I have on my book?
Oh, I'm sure you're very busy.
Yes, now you've been busy and all.
No reason why I shouldn't.
No, well, what have you come up with?
Well, I've a pretty good idea.
Idea? Ideas aren't any good in a court of law. What facts do you have, eh? Facts that I don't already know.
Maybe none.
Then it better be a very good theory.
Look, if you don't want to know, you don't want to know, so why bother
come
me?
on, lad, let's have it.
All right. Well, as I see it, somebody knew all they had to do was give you the pin and you would stick the tail on the donkey being Jacko and you being blindfold. Your word, not mine. All they had to do was make sure that Jacko didn't have a credible alibi.
Yeah. That's one thing that had me stumped.
What?
The fact that Jacko didn't have an alibi. He should have had. He's not that stupid.
You mean you had a doubt in your mind?
Oh, well, not enough of one. Go on.
All right. Well, there was this chap called Franny Slater who was friendly with a girl that Ray entertained, shall we say.
Well, she might have a lot of friends.
Oh, yes, she might. Then shortly afterwards, apparently, they went to London.
Circumstantial.
Oh, maybe, but I still reckon Franny Slater. Now, all he had to do was have Jacko strung up the East Lancs Road by a mate or something, and then the rest is just as Jacko tells it.
Prove it.
Can't.
That's a pity, for your theory.
Pity for Jacko.
Of course, if you could produce this man who strung Jacko up the motorway...
Well, I couldn't do that in a month of Sundays.
Meaning that I could, you mean?
If you bothered.
It's funny, if you don't bother about things sometimes, they just turn up.
Hey, hang on. Is that what this is about? Have you come up with him?
Well, no, it's not as simple as that. No, I've got a bloke. I pulled him in on another charge. He just fits the description. So does the car.
Then why don't you lean on him?
Lean on him?
Well, you know what I mean.
I thought you were a liberal gentleman. No, if I'm going to do him or have a go at him, it's going to be a bit tricky.
Oh, why?
Well, I'll have to charge him with conspiracy. That's a very difficult prosecution to
Well,
bring.
yeah, couldn't it just be aiding and abetting?
No, as far as the robbery's concerned, yet. But as far as Jacko's concerned, it's averting the course of justice. And that's very difficult to wrap up with the TICs.
Sorry?
They're taken ins. You know, the defendant asks for certain other cases to be taken into consideration.
Yeah.
He won't play ball like that.
And why are you telling me?
I just thought you'd like to know that I think you're right, quite probably.
And there's nothing we can do about it?
Yes, there is. There's something you can do about it.
Is there?
Keep your mouth shut. Keep right out of it.
Yeah, well, you've already suggested that.
No, I mean it. Just keep your theories to yourself. We don't know yet whether there's anyone else involved. I don't want you putting the wind up anyone.
Yes, I see what you mean. Okay.
Right.
Tell me, is any likelihood that...
I'm not saying. Let's just say that we'll have another look at it. That's all. That's what we're going to do.
See you.
Pair of jacks.
Oh, I see. Twos can be anything, then.
Two, oh, aye, yes, two's wild.
Oh, well, then, in that case...
Well, yeah, let's have a look, Well, you got a prile, 3 9s. Oh, it's all yours.
Oh, I'm having a lucky day, aren't I? It's my deal, isn't it?
Yes.
Well? Wouldn't listen.
Look, she knows her sisters are not that Mrs. Cooper.
It was certainly very defensive.
Aggressive, more like.
Well, I hope it wasn't all unpleasant.
Well, it's not much fun. It's not easy telling someone you think her sister should be in a nut house.
Well, I think she has that old-fashioned sort of shame about it, you know.
Did you see the girl herself?
No.
Oh, as I say, she was very defensive. She just wouldn't let us see her.
What do we do?
Oh, let's have a cup of tea. Go and put the kettle on there, Ernie.
All right, it's the police then.
I suppose it's quite possible that her sister will keep an eye on her. I mean, she wouldn't want it to happen again.
You can't depend on that.
Oh, she seemed a fairly strong-willed woman to me, and anyway, there's no saying she'll need...
You just don't want to tell them, do you?
No. It seems to me very probable it was just an impulse that won't
happen again.
No. She was obviously emotionally very upset at losing the baby. It must get better, not worse.
But why wouldn't the sister let you see her? Why wouldn't she let you anywhere near her?
Oh, it's hard to say how people will react to things.
Well, it wasn't because she was ill, was it?
Well, maybe it was. Maybe Mrs. Cooper didn't want to get her distressed again. It's quite logical. I mean, you wouldn't want to drag it up, would you? And come to that, you wouldn't want to see her in prison with murderers and people like that, would you?
I think you're being a bit over-dramatic.
Oh, no, I am not. That's what happened to Pauline Jones. Went to Holloway alongside one of the Moors murderers. Would you like that?
She'll be sent for treatment, that's all.
Perhaps, after there's been a national outcry.
Hey, there was that other girl as well. I mean, well, she got nearly 2 years and she'd not had the kid 15 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Do you know, I wonder if we could probe a bit.
What?
Well, I bumped into Patterson a little while back. I just said hello. You know.
You didn't?
No, but I was just wondering if we could, well, chat to him and see what his attitude is. He might be sympathetic, he might even be on your side.
And if he is, then tell him.
Well, it'd be easier if we knew which way he was going to jump, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Yeah, but look, don't raise up your hopes too far. I mean, it's still very dodgy for Jacko.
Oh, thanks, though, Ken.
Well, thank me, I haven't done anything.
Yes, of course you have. I mean, if Patterson thinks you're right...
Oh, yeah, but that doesn't make any difference. I mean, if anything, it can make it worse.
How?
Well, just think of this one. Patterson can't withdraw the case just because he feels like it. And your dad could end up going to jail when even the copper that nabbed him knows he didn't do it.
Oh, I see what you mean. But couldn't he just drop it?
Not unless he comes up with something definite, something that isn't altogether guesswork. And if he doesn't...
It's not very much of a satisfaction, is it? I don't think you'd better tell me, Dad.
No.
I mean, how would he feel?
Typical, flaming typical.
I'm sorry, I just can't tell you any more than that.
They don't ask me, do they? Like, do I want a postponement? Oh, no. Suit their flaming convenience every time.
Look, we don't know why they're asking for an adjournment.
They do it for the hell of it, just to shove you around.
They do not do it for the hell of it. Hey, Mr. Ford, it may not be as bad as you think. I can only assume there's a question of new evidence.
What new evidence?
Well, obviously, you couldn't tell me that.
Well, I mean, they can have been what they've got. I'm standing for it, aren't I? You tell them that from me.
I'll wait and see what develops. If there is any new evidence, of course, I'll have to think about it. You seem to have a very cynical attitude to justice.
I wouldn't know about that.
And I'm not going to tell them that you're standing for it, no.
Well, why not? It's my trial, isn't it?
Because I don't have your cynical attitude. And I'm sure that Inspector Patterson doesn't share it either.
Oh, don't make me puke. All he wants is another conviction.
Well, that's about all. I'll see you in court.
Another week of this place will be off my rocker. You haven't got another fag on you, have you? And a box of matches, eh?
20, 25, 26, 27. And what I had to start with, how much is that?
Well, 5's a bob, isn't it?
Oh, well then, that's 5 bob that you owe me, and I'll forget about the odd.
All right, well, come on, let's have another hand.
But I don't think we can. You haven't got any matches left, and you was 5 shy in the last kitty.
Well, you can lend me some.
Oh, I don't think I should. I don't think it's your lucky day.
Well, come on, my luck will change.
Oh, well, then in that case, all the more reason why I shouldn't. Anyway, I think we've played enough
No,
for
no,
now.
come on, we're only playing for fun.
Well, it won't be much fun if you lose all your money.
Well, in that case, you can buy me a drink out your winnings.
No, I'm sorry, I can't.
Why not? You've got 5 bob there.
No, I haven't. I've got a lot of matches.
It's still 5 bob.
Not to Annie Walker, it isn't. And I've got nothing until you pay up.
Right, well, I'll pay you when I get my pension.
All right, then. I'll buy you a glass of ale when you get your pension.
You've always got enough money to buy tins for that cat, haven't you?
Oh, well, I can afford to keep a cat out of my winnings.
Ernie Bishop, he's the bloke that runs the photographic shop on Victoria Street.
Oh, I thought that was the one.
Yeah, you were talking to him at lunchtime, innit?
Yeah. What sort of a bloke is he?
Right, quiet sort of a chap, religious, you know, goes in for these charities and things.
Oh, why do you want him? He's not the sort of bloke to bother you.
No, something he said interested me.
Well, if you find him all that interesting, why don't you talk to him? Here he comes now.
Oh.
Minnie. Hello.
Hello again.
I'd like a sherry and a pale ale, please.
You know, I think you did me a favour today.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, you jogged me elbow, so to speak.
I wasn't aware of it.
There's the baby. You put it back in my mind.
Oh.
The trouble is, I can't get it off my mind again.
Oh, I suppose...
I thought that all that business was finished with.
Yeah, but Mr. Bishop reminds me that it's not.
Oh, well, always glad to serve, you know.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fine.
Thank you. Ah, Mrs. Bishop. You see, what really interested me was why you should bother to jog my memory.
Well, it's just...
What about?
well, the baby business, you know.
Oh, well, we were talking about it.
Hypothetically.
Yes, well, one does hear such distressing things.
Yes, well, I suppose it depends on what sort of opinion you form of the girl.
Does it?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, if you brought this hypothetical girl to me and I thought she was a real villain, well, she's hardly likely to be a villain, though, is she?
Well, that's what we thought.
You know what interests me? Does this hypothetical girl have a hypothetical name and address?
I'm sorry?
Just for the sake of argument.
Yes, she does. Peters. Christine Peters.
That's a very good hypothetical name.